be starting on a late night with this video. Hope you're doing well out there this tonight. Well, I want to show you a video. This is going to be one on relationships. And we're going to start with Dr. Umar.
At Vistaprint, we print all the signs that help your small business stand out. We print tabletops that get your brand seen up close, and retractable banners that stop everyone in their tracks. We print A-frames that bring in business, posters that show them what you're all about, and vinyl banners that let everyone know you arrived. No matter what you need, we print all the signs that you can put here.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. I want to have a conversation about Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson is very against interracial dating. As you guys know, he likes black women with black men and vice versa. But I noticed that Dr. Umar Johnson always gives preference to folks who are, let me just say, if it's Caucasians, if it's the snow bunny, he gives a lot of attention to that. And I just never understood why that makes any sense, okay? But Dr. Umar Johnson is going to talk about that right now.
My dear brother, why you keep posting? Why you keep posting you a black man but you love snow bunnies? If you love snow bunnies, my brother, go love up on your bunnies, my brother. Why you?
Doug.
And if we win, we get to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes.
Love up on your bunnies, my brother. Why you keep telling me you in love with snow bunnies? What that got to do with me? Move on, my brother. You said get a back massage from Suki Honey. You moaning, daddy. Is that a bunny or is that a buttercream African sister? Is that a snow bunny or is that one of my buttercream African sisters? Is that one of my pineapple African sisters? Is that one of my African vanilla sisters? Is that one of my African pina colada sisters? Or was that a good old-fashioned snow bunny? Because I don't want to disrespect the African queen. I will never disrespect an African queen. So I need to know, was that a buttercream African queen? Was that a pineapple complexion African queen? Was that a butterscotch African queen? Was that a pina colada African queen? I don't want to disrespect the African sister because they come in all colors. That might have been a mixed race pina colada African queen. That could have been a mixed race buttercream African queen. That could have been a mixed race pina colada queen. I don't want to mistake my mixed race African sisters. I love my mixed race African sisters. But was that a good old-fashioned snow bunny? See, my mixed race African sisters and my fair-skinned African sisters. My mixed race African sisters and my fair-skinned African sisters. You gotta let me know that you're not a bunny. You gotta say, Dr. Umar, I'm an African queen. Butterscotch, pina colada, buttercream, pineapple, African vanilla. Let me know that you have the red, black, and green in your blood. Let me know, because I don't know if these is bunnies on here. Somebody told me the snow bunnies got a running bet. Somebody told me that the snow bunnies got a running bet that one of them is going to eventually take down King Kong consciousness. They said the snow bunnies is working overtime. They said sooner or later they're going to catch King Kong slipping. They said sooner or later they're going to catch the snow bunny boogeyman slipping. You can't catch the snow bunny boogeyman slipping. I don't ever slip, man. I don't ever slip. You will never catch the snow bunny boogeyman slip. Where my cinnamon colored African queens? Where my pecan colored African queens? Where my butterscotch, my butter almond African queens? Where my walnut glazed African queens? Where my deep dark chocolate fudge African queens? Where my cinnamon African queens? And African queens, please put on some shea butter. There's nothing worse than seeing a fine sister ashy as hell There's nothing worse than seeing a fine sister ashy as hell. I said there's nothing worse than seeing a beautiful African queen, but ashy as hell. Sisters, can y'all please carry some shea butter, some cocoa butter?
So, that's Dr. Umar talking about, the snow bunnies are going to try to, take him down. The snow bunnies are going to do this and that. They love Dr. Umar and all of this. Let me just talk about this, okay? And this is something that I really want to discuss. Firstly, you are a pro-black. Why are you worried about a snow bunny? Like, that's the last thing I wake up in the morning and think about is, what is the snow bunny thinking about? Or what is the snow bunny trying to do? I don't care about, I'm a pro-black. I don't even speak on, for the most part, Caucasians. I don't speak on white people. I don't speak on other groups, for the most part, Jews or Asians, or I don't really concern myself with that, because my message should be to the people in my community. And if somebody white comes onto my comment status or into my live and they have something negative to say, I'm gonna do something called block. I'm gonna block you. All right? I'm going to block you quickly and fast. I'm gonna block you right away. This is not gonna be any, it's gonna be quick, it's gonna be fast, it's gonna be efficient. I don't have time for foolishness. All right? The black world has too many problems that need to be solved, and we also have too many opportunities to be sitting back, worried idly by about somebody else in someone else's community who are not our people. That's number one. Number two, what is your obsession with snow bunnies? With white women? Why do you even acknowledge them? Of course some white women gonna come into the platform, but it's like, even you appeared on a YouTube video with a black man and his white girlfriend. If you're really a real pro-black, man, I'm not doing that. What is that about? It's almost comical. And I am really skeptical about pro-blacks who have a lot to say about white people all the time, mentioning white folks all the time, because even white supremacists. I could suspect that white supremacists, most likely, look, they already know they don't like blacks. What's the use of sitting around all day talking about blacks? We already know we don't really like them. Okay? So I don't understand why we're discussing it when we don't have time to do that. Okay? Let's talk about something else. Let's move the call time forward to something else, which has nothing to do with that, ultimately. Okay? That shouldn't have nothing to do with that. And I wish that as black people, we would get out of that foolishness. We would get out of that stupid, silly stuff. You don't like interracial dating? It's against the communities and all of that. Okay, fine. It's almost like the person that is down talking the LGBTQ. Whenever you see a person that's always mentioning the LGBTQ and the problems the LGBTQ have, what do you honestly think? You're thinking like, dang, bruh, you sure got the LGBTQ on your mind a lot. Why do you have the LGBTQ on your mind a lot? Is something you won't tell us? Because obviously they're not thinking about your ass. So why are you thinking about them? Why are you thinking about them? You see? And Dr. Umar, I think he really wants to clap some white cheeks. I really believe that, man. Dr. Umar has a secret fetish for clapping some Caucasian cheeks. And I think if her booty was big enough, if she's thick enough, because what he's gonna try to pull it off and say, she's a mixed race African. He's gonna try to do all that. She's 5% black, brother. I could clap him up. No, Dr. Umar is reckless. Dr. Umar be out there doing all kind of atrocious things in these pro-black streets. Okay, I got proof of that. I ain't gonna ever show it, but Dr. Umar is ridiculous. He be doing some real dusty stuff. Okay, dusty stuff. So, and I'm pretty sure he is betting on the fact that, you know what, I can actually do this dustiness and the pro-black community will forgive me, which is probably true because we dusty too. We're gonna be real, we're dusty as hell. So guys, what do you think of your Brand Jackson? Back at the end of the episode of A Celebrity.
I guess that, yeah, Umar is really obsessed with that stuff. I've never seen, okay, if you don't like interracial relationships, okay, why do you keep bringing it up? He's the only person that really, if they don't bring up, well, other people that's really in that sector don't bring about white people like he do. And I think he secretly got a crush on white women. He claims that he don't. But why you keep talking about it? I mean, shit. That don't make, which it doesn't make any difference. I mean, a woman's a woman. I wish some people get over that silly mess. But anyway, I want to show you something. You guys something right quick. Damn, I got to go down the aisle at my feed right quick. And I wanted to show you guys something with the latest, what's going on with some women these days. And Umar needs to kind of explain this. Watch this.
You work hard, day after day, week after week.
So you mean to tell me you're going to hold that against me because I love you and I want this moment to be special with you? This is hate.
This is the story of Kenesha Neely, age 38, a mother of 3 who decided to marry a convicted felon while he was still in jail serving 12 years but ended up being killed by the same guy after she moved him into his house with her young kids when he got out of prison. Kenesha told her friends and family that she had met the best man in the world after she married him in prison.
Like you.
Unfortunately, she let her guard down even though the man in question, Sheldon Maurice Neely, age 46, had numerous criminal convictions, including robberies and assault. She praised him as the best husband ever, but at the end of the day, he waited till the time was right and he killed her after spending a decent amount of time with her. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. This story will be taking us to Hoffman, North Carolina. Hoffman, North Carolina is a small rural town located in the south of North Carolina. It is a close-knit community with a population of just over 1,000 people. Hoffman crime rates are 63% higher than the national average. Violent crimes in Hoffman are 68% higher than the national average.
Hi you guys, my name is Kenesha Harrison and I applied for a $20,000 scholarship, and one of the questions on the scholarship was who most influenced you? And the person I chose that mostly influenced me was my mother, of course.
Kenesha Neely, age 38, was a mother of 3 who was financially well off. Kenesha studied business administration/business healthcare management at Capella University. Kenesha closed a house, bought a new car, had a full-time job, has a small business, and also just got a license to become a bail bondsman. Unfortunately, all this was not complete without a man in her life, so she was so happy when she got a message from jail. Kenesha, who was a CNA at this time, was lonely because the father of her 2 kids just abandoned her to take care of the kids, so she was very excited when a man by the name of Sheldon Maurice Neely, age 46, contacted her.
Chicks be like, oh, he with her? And he is. Been with me, still with me, tatted me, forever we. Been to come get me. You can't sleep at night.
This was not a regular message. It was from someone who was from behind bars. He was in prison serving 12 years at the time. The catch was that Sheldon was a career criminal. He was behind bars from convictions in 2010 of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill inflicting serious injury and assault with a deadly weapon inflicting serious injury in Moore County. Sheldon also served 2.5 years behind bars when he was convicted of robbery with a dangerous weapon, possession of a firearm by a felon, and possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. He had been in prison severally. Kenesha was excited when she got message on Facebook from Sheldon. She was super excited even though he was in prison at the time and he had an extended criminal record. As smart as Kenesha is, she didn't think twice. She jumped on the offer. Weeks into talking on the phone and texting, Kenesha agreed to marry Sheldon while in prison.
I am born to see my husband. I'm happy to see my husband. I'm happy.
She posted this. In a few weeks I'll be marrying my best friend. The love we have for each other keeps me focused. You encourage me. You're my medicine and my safe haven. I'll always have your back. She married him inside the prison walls, and she could not hold back how happy she was. Months after their marriage, Sheldon was released and Kenesha welcomed him with open arms into her home where she had 2 young girls. She introduced him to her girls and tried to make him their new daddy. She instantly booked a vacation for them, posting how she booked the best she could get. For his birthday, she got this singer to sing for him and gave him loads of gifts.
Hey Maurice, I'm Shanice, and Kenesha wanted me to wish you a happy Valentine's Day, and she wants you to know that she appreciates you. You're an amazing man, an amazing father. You are her best friend, and she loves everything about you. Loving you, it's easy 'cause you're beautiful. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
It ain't even my birthday, it's my birthday.
On Father's Day, she praised him so much. Her message read, "Happy Father's Day to our protector. Thanks for helping out with these girls and showing them the fatherly love they deserve. You're definitely not the stepdaddy, you're the step-up daddy. We appreciate you and love you." She continued pampering him like a baby. She would not stop there. She would continue to praise him every minute she could on social media, even though this man did nothing for her other than stay with her and milked her, but unfortunately she did not see it. She kept posting stuffs like this. "They say you don't have to tell the world you're happy, it will always speak for itself. Coming up on 6 months of marriage, we still. There's absolutely not another man in this world that can love me like you. You still give me butterflies after almost 2 years and headaches. But you'll never have to question my loyalty regardless how hard it is to love you. I won't give up. Happy 9 months of marriage under the same roof."
Remember the words of that song?
What's up?
I was your best friend.
Cause she messed my own.
I'll be your best friend. If you promise you.
She was ready to give him everything in the world, even though some people within her circle was not happy with her actions. They believed she had lost her mind. Everything about her life revolved around him. too long after all this, she surprised her friends and family that they were expecting a new child. She had his child, and she was happy, and he seemed happy too. Things started going south when he started posting guns and cryptic messages on social media. In December 2023, Sheldon got drunk and started to argue with her and hit her several times in the face. She was able to get to a handgun, and the two allegedly wrestled over the gun. She shot him in the leg. Police arrived and took Sheldon to the hospital and then county jail after his treatment. She was able to get his bail perfected and bond him out.
Sometimes things don't go as planned. So you mean to tell me you're going to hold that against me because I love you and I want this moment to be special with you? I'm not recording you, girl.
She took him back like nothing happened, and they got back to living their delusional fairy tale life. Fast forward to August 4th, 2024. The RCSO said that deputies were dispatched to a home on McCoy Drive in Hoffman the morning of August 4th in response to a possible domestic dispute and shots fired. While clearing the home, deputies reportedly encountered a locked bedroom door and heard a gunshot from the room when they attempted to breach the door. Inside, they found the bodies of Sheldon and Kenesha. Police believed Sheldon had got into an altercation with Kenesha, and as usual, he got his gun and shot her. So when the cops tried to open the door, he permanently hurt himself too. Police confirmed that investigation is still ongoing in this case, despite the fact that he was released from prison in November 2022, and his parole ended June 9, 2023, after spending more than a decade behind bars from convictions in 2010 of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill inflicting serious injury and assault with a deadly weapon inflicting serious injury in Moore County. He is not a changed man. He was a man who just took advantage of Kenesha, who was desperate to find love. She thought he was a changed man. Unfortunately, she was killed by the man he married in prison, who she showered with love, gifts, affections, and anything she could lay her hands on. It's sad that there are 3 young girls out there without a mother after this tragic incident. He tricked her into having another child. He then did this terrible thing to her and her kids. What a monster he is. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Kenesha Miranda Neely. This story basically tells women to be more careful when choosing men, especially if you have to go choose them from prison. We do hope her soul continues to rest in peace. Please stay safe out there, and see you guys.
Level up your self-improvement game and step into greatness with the Legacy Academy app. Our gamified learning
This is Arrogance. She fell in love with Theon. During their relationship, Theon has spent time in jail.
I've given the adult prison system 10 years of my life.
Arrogance splashed out on her man while he was behind bars.
My wife spent over $80,000 on me during my incarceration.
But not everyone agrees with her decision.
This guy said I was glorifying prison. This ain't just doing TikToks and trying to become famous. Like, no, this is real life. This is what I go through every day.
I'm just gonna ask him, like, what are you gonna do for my sister? Are you gonna take care of this kid? Are you gonna be there for her? I think he's using her.
I'm Arrogant. This is my husband, Zion. Zion has been in and out of jail, and people judge me for it.
Been married going on 5 years, through thick and thin. How old are you, baby?
I am 33.
Thought you were 32. I thought she was 32.
I seen him at this barbecue, not knowing he had just got out of prison. I was like, who is that chocolate drop? And I'm like, oh, I need him. I'm going to get him.
Some weeks go by, and my cousin's like, what's up? You ain't hit my homegirl up? I'm like, she ain't never hit me. Lo and behold, she actually did hit me. She sent me a pair of eyes, some emojis. I'm fresh out of prison. I didn't know what an emoji was.
And I knocked all how many ever females he had right out the water. Bye-bye.
I believe my first run-in with the law, I was 14 years old. It started off as just little trips to the juvenile institution, turned into now long prison terms. By the time I'm done with this ankle bracelet, I've given this adult prison system 10 years of my life.
We got married July 9th, and then he caught another charge that he just recently did time with, September 14, 2019. He was then in jail for 2 different cases at one time.
I actually got to prison a week before COVID. They shut the whole prison down. No visits, no nothing.
We didn't have visits for 2 years. We had video visits for, a year?
We got those taken
We got
away.
kicked off from the video visits.
We was doing too much on here. It wasn't PG-13, we'll say that. Here in the amount of time I was looking at, arrogance felt like, well, it's not just you that's involved in this, it's us. And I think that's what's rare for a person to stay down behind that.
I'm not one of those who are, oh, he did the crime, so I'm not going to do the time. We're going to time together, baby.
I didn't give him no hard time. I just worked, went to school, and took care of my kids. I surprised him with this. I got my whole comforter set customized, and it said, I'll hug this pillow until I can hug you. And I kept it on until he got released 4 years later.
My wife spent over $80,000 on me during my incarceration, and that's why they mad.
So this is literally one rack full of stuff. There's like 3 or 4 more. I bought everything brand new. This is literally one of his favorite polo jackets. A lot of stuff I got for him was like sets. So expensive stuff. Yeah, this old.
I know what you guys are thinking, but this is my guy, man.
This is his cologne collection that I stocked up. I like my man to smell good, so this is over $1,000 in cologne right now. Social media is just crazy.
Just because we're a prison wife does not mean we're desperate. Does not mean we're lonely. Does not mean that we're looking for love.
We have seen a lot of judgment. Basically, what do I get out of holding him down in prison? The dedication is too crazy for them.
He gonna leave.
What benefits am I getting? Not understanding that it's deeper than that.
Obviously, no, I didn't do the crime with him, because if I did do the crime with him, I would be incarcerated.
This guy said I was glorifying prison.
No, I am not glorifying prison, but what I am doing is embracing my struggle, our struggle.
I just say don't reply. If you have the time to write a comment about what's going on over here, whether negative or positive, you're invested in this. That's all hate is, you expressing love in a negative way.
People need to be woke onto what's going on in the real world and how a lot of women and black women and a lot of black men are going through this situation.
A lot of judgment, but a lot of love as well, because there's millions of people going through the same thing as me.
I feel for the ones that don't get these trailer visits because it's like essential.
It took years for us to even get conjugal visits.
I waited 2.5 years before I got them because of COVID and all the extras.
You have to be basically a straight A student.
We stay in a trailer. They're really, really nice. No, I don't stay in a cell with my husband in a cellie.
They have a place that's on the prison compound. It's like a little house, and you set it up how you want during those 48 hours.
We have barbecue grills outside.
Man, the food that we were eating, the kind of things, like we were literally defying the norm in there. Like, we was in there having it all right.
You get your bags checked, all your food ran through, you go through a metal detector.
I remember when that guy thought my hair curler was a vibrator.
Yeah, she had a curling iron with a cord. Brought her to the sergeant's office. The person, the seal that brought her in, was looking at her like...
She was like, are you serious?
When she gets there, she likes to clean up, set up.
I deep clean before we do anything.
I sanitize everything. I won't even sit on the couches, or I put sheets on everything.
I'm telling you, I know the stuff I was doing in the conjugal, so I could just imagine what others was doing in there.
Yeah.
You having a baby. Baby Z was conceived in the trailer. The last one's the one that did it. Yeah, arrogance is about to pop here in about a month or 2.
This is some of our baby shower decorations. It is Lion King themed, so we're going to do all the safari looking, elegant looking stuff. Diaper cake. We're going to really have a good time. My sisters and his family members, some of them were very judgmental, asking like, did we get married because he was going to do prison time? Hey, sissy. Me and Dorothy are like twins, so we're a year apart.
I just love her so much, right? So I'm the big sister, so I look after her. I just want to make sure that she's making all the right decisions. I just felt like he wasn't on her level at the time. All of a sudden he wants to marry her after he's fighting a case. I'm like, F that. I think he's using her.
We have had our times during his incarceration where I had to fall back a little bit because she would be judgmental in certain situations.
I'm just going to ask him, like, what are you going to do for my sister? Like, are you going to take care of her? Are you going to take care of this kid? Are you going to be there for her?
So what did you think when me and Z started first dating?
Hated it.
Why?
He was just getting out of prison and you was a boss-ass bitch.
She was like wondering like what bills did he pay? Stuff that's out of her concern, stuff that's in my household that I don't share with anybody.
We probably spent more money on the phone than anything.
I didn't like how much they talked. It really irritated my soul. We would be talking mid-conversation. It's like, oh, Z's calling. I gotta call you back. Z calling. Shh. They had just talked 10 minutes ago, and he's calling again. I'm like, what do you guys have much to talk about. I think she probably spent $1,000 in a week on phone calls, which was ridiculous to me.
I wouldn't call if she ain't pick up the phone. I ain't gonna harass nobody. If people don't have an understanding for it, of course they're gonna make assumptions and opinions, which is, your person's entitled to that.
I don't feel like she lived her life in those 4 years. I think she just was stuck in a rut. He needs to prove to me that he's worth all that money that she spent. Because she could have been traveling the world with me.
If I would have listened to her or other people, I wouldn't be in my relationship. And this is as happy as I've been in any relationship.
But
she's not in a relationship with him neither. So I feel like she's feeling like he needs to prove it to her, and that's not the case.
Oh, it is. Because I'm going to be on his if he don't treat you good. I'll be right here with him.
I think a lot of it is just coming from her feeling like somebody's taking her spot, or I'm not like that with her relationships at all. We're the total opposite.
She's all in my business. She's all in my business.
It's just to a certain extent she needs to let it go. Almost been married for 5 years, together for 6, and a baby on the way.
Yeah, I'm calm now, like with the situation. I just feel like, okay, he's out. Now it's time to build their relationship on the outside, not the inside.
You can look around and see how far we've come.
And we're stronger than relationships that are on the out.
Arrogance has definitely elevated my life because being with a woman of her stature, you gotta come correct. You gotta, you have to grow up.
Everybody goes through something. So stop being so damn quick to judge. Prison wife, stay strong, queens, and hold it down. Stand on business.
Those 2 prison sentences were part of my journey. I'll never go back to prison.
And if he does, it ain't gonna be with me. So I just want to let people know, don't listen to outsiders. If you're happy, you're happy. If you're with that person, you're with that person.
Okay, now I'm going to make this a short video. I didn't want to add too much to this. Well, let me start by saying this. The video before this video was really sad that that's extremely that woman did everything and see with her husband. And a lot of these women don't really get to know the character. Not one time I heard any of these men talk about when they get out they're gonna get some vocational training. They're not getting some rehab so they can get some type of job to help out the woman. I mean, just labor in the house, working in a warehouse or being a truck driver or something. I mean, at least help the woman out. But it's like, and that's why that's why her sister said, hey, and probably why they don't prove, because he ain't trying to do nothing but go in and out of jail. And it's like the other fellow did. But he went to extreme, and he just, went on alcohol, and next thing you know, domestic violence, but boom, someone's unalive. But this, this remind me, this is close to home for me, them last 2 videos, because my mother was in that situation. I think I mentioned this a long time ago. My mom met a guy that was in and out of jail, in and out of prison. That's why I can understand what the family going through. And he had a job, because I talked to his mom at the time when they were living. And he she said, I don't know what baby bro did. He said, like, I raised him up to be a son, but he got around these friends, and when he got older, he wanted to run the streets and be with his boys, and run the streets and do illicit and illegal activity out there. But when he first got out, he really didn't. It was the same situation, and the only job that he had that we did was strike security. He worked that 1 month at a car dealership washing cars. But other than that, my mom at the time was working at a company He's just doing the same thing like these women were doing. And I'm trying to figure out what. And then when we have a conversation, cause I'm trying to see where his man mindset is at. All he never could leave the past. He was always like talk about some street stuff that they did. And I know it was a pattern with the friends that they had. They ran streets, and they've been to jail, and they've been to prison. His son's been to jail and prison. Get into some stuff and his one son was in and out of jail. So I can understand where that family come from. And I'm like, of all the men, good, hard-working men out there, maybe they may not have the best jobs, maybe they might not have, but there's men out here working. I don't care if they're a janitor, if they're a farmer, truck driver, warehouse worker. Why don't you get somebody, but they got somewhat, they doing something with their time. Be a delivery driver, you name it. They doing something. Why do you have to go and get somebody that ain't come out, they ain't doing nothing? And then you pretty much spoil them like you would spoil your child. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. But see, that's why there's a passport bra movement, because it goes to show you where some women mentally is at. That's why that some men don't want to be bothered with women. Because when they pick, and that's a certain type of women that women gravitate to. And you'd be surprised, bruh, sis, you'd be surprised how many women will gravitate. They come from good jobs, they got education, but they want opposite of what they do. And I don't know, what does this man, what does he offer? I mean, intellectually, what does he offer? Is he trying to have any goals in life? Is he trying to maintain something? No, it's some hood Negro stuff, street talk, and it kind of remind me of my stepfather. He was my stepfather. All he talked about was, what he used to do. Tell me inside of the prison and some of the stuff, and it's almost like he took proud of it that he ran them streets and did what he did. It's like, I figure some people, when they done time, that they kind of have some kind of remorse or some kind of regret. But it's almost like, no, this guy, and it's almost like when he come out, not only that he came out with an addiction. And it shooting up that stuff. Most people have up, but his thing, and he jumped on my mother a couple times. I wanted, ooh, that made me mad. But she told me, don't do nothing, don't say nothing to us. I want to have a talk with him. You don't jump on my mother. And she didn't say something, so she had to go to a battered shelter one time. And these women, and I was so, they're married, they worked it out, and kind of find out, in the end, life caught up to him, because by him shooting up so much, he collapsed all his veins in his body. They had to go inside of his leg to get blood, because all his veins were shot in, shooting up so many times. He had both vein blocks. And that led to diabetes. He had amputations, and eventually he had a stroke. But he was a hood dude all his life, a hood ninja. And hood ninja people. There's a segment with black people that just love hood ninjas. They think that in their mind that's the culture. There's a segment of our people in the community. This is the truth. We like dysfunction because it ain't real unless you keep it dysfunction. And I'm telling you, and then when you bring around, they bring around more dysfunctional people. And I would be so upset at my mom. Why did you marry something like this? My aunts didn't like him. My aunts did not like him. Certain people, my cousins, they kind of tolerate him, but they didn't want to be around because they worked. They retired, and they only thing my cousins, they would just hang out like most older men do, and they thing was drink and sometimes smoke weed, but they were family men. But this guy was not much of a family man. He was a Papa Rolling Stone, and he had, I'm glad he didn't have children with my mom because they met later on in life, because he had about 9 kids and 20 grandkids out there. So, but he was never in their life, in his kids' mother's life. And I'm trying to figure out what did my mother want to see in something like that. I don't understand it. It's a segment of women, I don't understand it. They like the bad boy. And then a lot of women here, when they see us women going overseas, men picking other races, because look at the mindset of some of these women. And if you don't conduct yourself that way, they think you're boring. They think you're lame. So they'll go pick up a guy that just ain't got nothing going for himself. I don't know what it is. And I mean, particularly our women, but I know white women do it too, and other women do it too. But some of our women, they love dysfunction. There's a segment of women in our community, among black people, we love dysfunction. And that's why I'm really familiar with stuff like this. And and my mom stayed married to him. He would go, and she'd go at work, he'd take the car, him and his buddy, and go hang out and do things. And she didn't do stuff. She did the same thing like these women, bomb all kind of stuff, put cars in his name, all kind of things. And plus she already had, she's not very good steward in ways of money, but it was even worse when she got with him. But man, when it came to the edge, his family, his extended family, they were okay. They were from Cincinnati. With his kids, I met some of his other kids. I was cool with one of his sons that he lived in Texas, but the rest of them, they just had some issues. I didn't get a chance to know them. His sisters were okay. They were okay. Brother at the time he was living, he was okay. But but his crowd, the people was around, man. That's all they ever knew was the streets and that hood ninja talk. So anybody can interpret what I don't want to say. The other one, hood ninja. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, and so you black, you know what I'm talking about. But that's all what it was. And man, I tell you, I hate to say it, even though it was sad that he left, but it was kind of a relief that he left, because it was a demographic of people that would come over, and they were from the streets of Cincinnati, in towns where he grew up at, and these was not really no productive people. They was in and out of prison and jails too. And finally, his one son that was in and out of jail, finally someone got his head together, got a good job, because he, and here's the tricked out part. His grandson, who was young at the time, but he's a young man now, he started his son that went out of jail, his son ended up going out of prison because he was running around with a street gang. So it's like a generational curse that it went from. Now he's about to go back and do like his dad did, like his granddad did, and run in and out of the prison and jail system, be part of the system. And so when he passed, that I knew the family was gonna cut away from that family for good, and it was kind of relief. And I tell you, I asked God, do not bring no more men like that towards my mother again. Do not let her get to no predicament. Lead them hood ninjas where they at. I pray to the Lord that, please, I ain't say, please, if he ain't got nothing, if he don't have your personality, God, and if she want a companion, if he ain't got your personality, don't bring him back into the picture. And I can't, I put up with it. My mother meeting men, because her second husband was like that. He was younger and doing some dumb stuff, jumped on her, and the whole 9 yards. You know, my aunt did that, but at least with my aunt, she had sense enough to not meet the next man that's gonna be a hood ninja. You know, that they got something going on for themselves. They working. But yeah, man, so and I can say as a man, and I'm pretty sure white men go through, but black men, that's why most of us are single. Because from the male's perspective, that's what we got. When we see women like that, it's like, wow, you know, that's what they want. And if they had a good working guy, they'll get on his nerves, but they'll cater to a guy that won't do nothing for them. And then you see the extreme. But so the first video, this is okay, Dr. Umar. Explain that. That's why some men pick snow bunnies, and they don't just pick any snow bunny. That's why some they'll pick out the women. And as one commentator, Marrakesh and Maria AC, shout out to him. That's why they pick those other women, because not that saying them other women don't meet other men, because they do. It's in other communities. There's some bad boy. They got that bad boy syndrome. But I think that's why some men in America look for to get their money stacked up and go over and meet other women over there, because it's like a segment of women here. That's what kind of men that they want. Or you have the ones that's really extreme that they gonna make 5-6 figures. You know, they don't want to deal with a guy that's a working guy. And it's like a 1% you gonna meet that. But yet, that's why I can kind of relate to this story with them two stories. And you see with the second one, she spent all that money on him. Man, wow. But hey, to each his own. You know, he's very lucky to get someone like that. You know, hopefully he'll man up and try to help her out. You know, just keep the family, because like, you don't want no one. That's what mother did. She probably took care of him. You know, he didn't hardly have no job. You know, and to me, as a man, I couldn't do that. I mean, I don't mind a woman help me out, but I gotta feel like I contribute something. I can't just lay up on top of a woman. You know, no matter what her job is, I just couldn't do that. But that's just me, because I was raised in a family. Men work. My dad. Even though he had a hard time at times, at least he would have a job to contribute. Everybody in my family, they was men, and my uncles and stuff. They work. We come from a working family. No matter if they have cousins and everything, no matter what their little fun time, whether they drank, but when it comes to get down to business, they're gonna work. But you gotta sit the people out here that don't, and Negroes, to my black people, you know what I'm talking about. They don't want to do nothing. These Negroes ain't nothing, and they'll pick them and they'll kiss all up to them. But meanwhile, we good, nice guys. They just kind of push us to the side. But not anymore. Sometimes maybe you better off. And this, and that's okay, guys, because maybe you better off being alone or being at peace, or find somewhere else. Let the women that want to chase guys like that down, let them have it. Let them have it. Don't even, hey, they want to chase us to the Pookies and the Ray Rays, let them have it. And it's, in some cases, it's sad that even once women that So they got some sense that's working. But if that's their idea of thinking that a man's gonna protect them because he's been locked up and he know how to fight and cut some dude out, whatever. That's basically what it is. That's basically why they pick him, for some kind of protection. And the daddy figure, you see how much of a daddy figure he was. He took their mom away from him. But I was saying, for the women, let there be a lesson learned. Get to know a man's character. See what he's really about. And so that's what I say about that. But alright then, guys, I hope you this was a really intriguing video, and for the women, maybe hopefully you don't make the same mistake that they do. When you see a good man, at least get a good working man. You know, there's a lot of good men that's got something going for themselves. They may not have the best paying job, but at least they have good character. And it's too bad some women don't. That's what you need to meet, somebody who have a godly, caring character, and appreciate when he's a godly, he's non-violent, he don't have no case on him. That he has some type of drive. So ladies, if a lady could come across this, pick better if you're single. And if you have a good man, appreciate the good man. Because some men are not going to take that. That's the shit. Alright then, take care, be blessed. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.